All okay? Everybody has a clean view? Can we move forward? All right, I'll start off with Sashi. நீங்கள் வந்து of course ஒரு சில வார்த்தைகள் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க from being a producer to directing your debut film. இந்த படம் தான் ஒரு perfect story அப்படின்னு எப்படி நினைச்சீங்க and what made you choose Netflix as a platform?
See, I think as a producer, the first there are a lot of stories that you listen, but there are only few stories you'd want to tell because that the story needs to move to storytelling, right? That so it's the producer DNA. ஒரு ப்ரொடியூசராக வந்து இந்த படம் கரெக்டுன்னு எனக்கு தோணணும் அண்ட் அந்த ப்ரொடியூசர் வந்து இந்த டைரக்டருக்கு சான்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ எனக்கே நான் வந்து 13 வருஷம் ஆச்சு சான்ஸ் கொடுத்துக்கிறதுக்கு ஆக்சுவலாக. ஸோ as a producer, I knew that I was correct to do this film. So the producer gave me the chance saying, okay, you should direct this film. I mean, we've been partners with Netflix for a really long time. I mean, it's been 8-9 years since our first collaboration, and the last one, Jagmayantandram, happened. It was a big thing for us. See, for me, my entire film journey has been a creative journey. And for me as a first-time director with this kind of cast, to join hands with Netflix, which is a global, platform, the fact that my first film is going to reach 300 million people on day one, for me, that's a kick, right? That's, as a creator, there's no other joy for me than knowing that our storytelling exercise has gone to 300 million people. So it was a perfect match, a whole lot of creative people. They understand this. So the fact that they picked this film, right? They've not randomly picked. There was a creative collaboration. So it was a perfect match, and I'm so happy that we are here right now and can't wait for the rest of the world to watch it.
Fantastic. It'll have the viewership of like an India-Pakistan game worldwide, and that's how it's going to be on the 4th of April. We can't wait for it. Monica, very simply, what drew you to test?
After you watch a lot of films, all of us do, we read a lot of scripts and we see a lot of screenings. And, rarely do you have a film, you enjoy many of them and you want to share them with your audiences. But every once in a while, you have a film which makes you feel and think and feel again and keep thinking after you finish watching it. I think Test was that for me, and Sashi has done a phenomenal job just putting the story together. From the first frame to the last frame of the film, you're just gripped. It's intense, you lean back sometimes, and then you're biting your nails. You want to know what each character's journey is going to be. So I think it really moved something inside me. And it is a film that is going to really find a place in people's heart because of the journey of each of its characters and how, they move towards a situation where all of them have to test themselves as life tests them. And I think all of us in our daily lives go through that. And there's a lot of relatability in that. There's a lot of emotion in that. And that is what really drew me. And of course, I must say, I love the soundtrack. It is so beautiful. So I'm sitting with all of them talented people here. And I can just say that as Netflix, it's an honor to tell such a story.
Fabulous. We all love the soundtrack. It's definitely a earworm. And we'll get Shakti to sing it for us in just a bit. That's definitely due. Maddie, she was talking about emotions and you display intense emotions. ஆழமான உணர்வுகளை நீங்க வெளிப்படுத்துறதுல ஒரு வித்தக்காரர் அப்படினே சொல்லலாம். How challenging was this role and this film for you?
ரொம்ப நன்றி. இதுக்கு வந்து நான் தமிழ்ல தான் பதில் சொல்லணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறேன். ஆனா அந்த படம் பல மொழியில ரிலீஸ் ஆனதுனால ஆங்கிலத்துல பேச வேண்டிய கட்டாயம்.
Can we get the sound up please?
Anyway, so முதல்ல இந்த மாதிரி கதாபாத்திரங்கள் கிடைக்கிறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். இந்த மேடையில் வந்து நம்ம ஒவ்வொருத்தரை ப்ரேஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம எப்படி வேலை செஞ்சோம் என்ன பண்ணோம் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து இப்போ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சே தாயம் இல்லை. படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆனப்பறம் நம்ம வெற்றி விழும்போது பேசுவோம். இதுதான் நான் நம்புகிற ஒரு ஃபிலாசபி. அதனால் what I wanted to say is that after so many years in the industry, it becomes really difficult to get sure about the character you're playing. There is only one way to assure that it doesn't have a false note. And that is, and I'm going to explain this a little bit. It's just, we have a bandwidth in which we show our emotions in society. That's, from being a father to a son or a daughter or a husband or an actor or a celebrity. It's a bandwidth that you're projecting to society. But on either side of that, there is another internal self, where if you get challenged in your life, or if you get immense amount of success, you dip into those emotions which are not normally shown to public. When you do a movie like this, when you see a character like this, you can fearlessly go into that zone and bring out that real part of you to the character. So if I'm putting a little bit of Madhavan into Sara, then it's very little chances that it will go wrong. It might not go extremely right, but it will definitely not go wrong because there is a great amount of reality in that, and honestly a truth that is true to me. So that way it becomes easy to transcend the emotions during the performance.
Fantastic. Sid, நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு மல்டிஃபெசேட்டட் கேரக்டரை போர்ட்ரே பண்ணுறீங்க. நிறைய உணர்வுகளினுடைய சீசோ அவர் ஆக்சுவலி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணுறாரு. அவருடைய பயணத்தினுடைய எந்த அம்சங்கள் ரெசினேட்டட் வித் யூ பர்சனலி?
நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் ரெண்டு உண்மை இருக்குது ஆக்சுவலாக. ஒன்று வந்து மற்றவங்க பார்வையில் நமக்கு உணர்த்தப்படுற ஒரு உண்மை, இன்னொன்று நம்ம வந்து கண்ணாடியை பார்க்குறப்போ நமக்கு என்ன உணர்றோமோ அது ஒரு உண்மை. I was saying there are two realities. One that is in the eyes of people who perceive you, and the other is what you look at when you see yourself in the mirror. So இந்த ரெண்டு ரியாலிட்டிஸை நம்ம எவ்வளோ புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு வாழ்க்கை வாழறோங்கிறது தான் நம்ம வாழ்க்கை வாழறோட மெச்சூரிட்டியாக நான் பார்க்குறேன். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் அர்ஜுன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கிரிக்கெட்டர் இந்த ட்ரெய்லரில் ரிவீல் பண்ண விஷயம் இஸ் a very popular, very celebrated test cricketer. The way the world sees him is one, like all of our cricketing legends, you spend more time with them than most. They have to get used to what the world thinks of them, how the world thinks they should play, enna shot adichirukano, endha over la follow and call pannirukano, ellathukkum they get 1.5 billion opinions. So adu oru pakkam irukka, avanga thaniya irukrappo when they look at themselves in the mirror, they have a second reality. So how much you balance these two is very difficult. And that part of this character really stayed with me. That how much do you find the balance between yourself and you the way the world wants you to be. That's what I took from this character.
Beautiful. Meera, Sasi ஏற்கனவே சொல்லியிருந்தாரு that இந்த கேரக்டர் பத்மானுடைய கேரக்டர் வந்து ஒரு ரொம்ப மெச்சூர்ட் அண்ட் சூப்பர் டீப் ஆக்ட்ரஸால தான் ப்ளே பண்ண முடியும். அதனால தான் உங்ககிட்ட வந்தார். He wanted a nuanced portrayal. இந்த கேரக்டரில் என்ன விஷயம் உங்களுக்கு அவ்வளோ பிடிச்சிருந்தது that you actually said yes I want to play Padma?
First of all, ஸ்டோரி மொத்தமாக கேட்கும்போதே வந்து எனக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தது. And of course the actors. நான் பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு I want to say something about Shashi, because Shashi வந்து எனக்கு as an actor he provided the right atmosphere to perform. He created the right ambience. So I'm someone who internalizes my characters. When I perform, I take it in, and I don't know how to articulate that, but something happens. There's something that happens. So I depend a lot on the director. I'm a director's actor, and I think he did something with me that I could perform. And yes, when I heard about Padma's character, Padma has different layers. She's very deep, and I don't want to say too much about it because then the character will be revealed. She has done a lot of balancing act in the film, in her thing, and I think I can only just say that much because it's a beautiful character. And thank you.
அழகாக பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்கல்ல, ஒன்றும் சொல்லக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு கரெக்டாக சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, வேறு ஒன்றுமே சொல்ல மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்க உங்களுக்கு வந்து பேசுறது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, ஆனால் ஒவ்வொரு தடவை இவங்களுடைய முகத்தை நம்ம ஸ்க்ரீனில் பார்க்கும்பொழுது இவங்க பேச வேண்டாம், இவங்களுடைய முகம் தான் ஒவ்வொரு முறையும் பேசிக்கிட்டே இருக்குது. அண்ட் that's more than enough. Nice strong round of applause for a beautiful actor. We'll move on to Shakti Shri. நீங்கள் வந்து நிறைய பாடல்கள் வெவ்வேறு ஜான்ரஸில் பாடி இருக்கீங்க. ஆனால் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு படம் ஆல்ரெடி இன்டென்ஸ், நிறைய லேயர்ஸ், நிறைய உணர்வுகள் அப்படிங்கும்பொழுது எவ்வளோ பெரிய சேலஞ்சாக இருந்துச்சு ஃபார் அ டெபியூட்டான்ட் மியூசிக் டைரக்டர்?
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். That's actually, I mean, it's a very good question. And it was quite challenging, I'm not going to lie. And the first time Sashi had sent me the script, I remember like towards, I think I told you this the very first time I called you up. Like towards the end, I was actually standing up and reading it because it was so intense. Like the words were literally jumping out. And then I remember it's not just the characters. I remember coming back from New York and I made it, I think, to maybe the last couple of days of shoot. And I hadn't seen anything, but Sid was like, "You have a big job." I was like, okay. And already the characters were so complex. The nuances, like what they're going through, all the gray areas. It was so nuanced. And then I saw the first cut and I was like, well, oh my God, I have a big job. Because all of them have absolutely killed it and breathed in so much life to these characters who until then I had just seen through Sashi's words and vision. So it was not easy because there's so many tender moments where you see the humanity of people just come through. And we are all, that's the common denominator, right? Like we have this whole lived human condition of our struggles and what to do and what not to do. And sometimes what not to do defines us more, I would think. And I think all these characters are living, breathing totems of just that.
So நீங்கள் இசை அமைக்கும் போது கூட வாட் நாட் டு டூ அப்படின்னு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் முடிவு எடுத்துட்டீங்களா? அண்ட் தென் வாட் டு டூ அப்படிங்கறத நீங்க ப்ரோக்ரஸ் பண்ணீங்களா?
ஆக்சுவலி எஸ், லைக் நிறைய வாட்டி நாங்கள் மியூசிக்காக மீட் பண்ணும்போதும் அண்ட் ஒன் ஆஃப் த மோஸ்ட் பியூட்டிஃபுல் திங்ஸ் I remember during a table read session that Sashi had said, first roomல வந்து இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சொன்னாரு. He was like, we are all filmmakers. Our medium is
now.
This is good.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So one of the first things that Sashi had mentioned was we are all filmmakers. Our medium is different, and he imagined whether it's the DOP or the sound designer or the music, like every department or every vertical to like kind of amplify the storytelling. And I think that was such a beautiful vision to have, and I feel like his creative vision was incredible. So many times in our discussions, it was also like what not to do was a huge part, and I think it kept bringing us closer to what actually is the fabric and the color of this film through sound and through music.
Fabulous.